Today, though, Dawn Staley met with the media for SEC Media Days. Her Gamecocks are ranked number 2 in the nation entering the season. They are the current dynasty in women's college sports. And lest we forget, we were this close away from that dynasty being over because Dawn Staley interviewed for the vacant New York Knicks head coaching gig after they fired Tom Thibodeau, before they hired Mike Brown. And it was reported at the time. Nobody really believed it until she came out and said, no, I interviewed for the job. I met with Worldwide West. I met with Leon Rose. I really respect those guys. And they just, the decision wasn't made. It is what it is. Well, today at SEC Media Days, she was asked about the idea of women coaching in the NBA, especially at the head level. And here's what she said.
If I'm the Knicks coach and you have a 5-game losing streak, it's not going to be about the losing streak. It's going to be about being a female coach. So you, as an organization and a franchise, you have to be prepared for that and strong enough to endure those types of instances when you're going to look for or hire a female coach.
Do you think it'll happen in your lifetime where a women's coach,
No,
a woman is?
I don't, and I hope I'm wrong.
I don't know. I'm going to say I think it will happen. I'm going to go the opposite, only because I think basketball of all the sports is very viable where you look at a woman having played basketball at a certain level and then coach. I can't see a woman as a baseball manager, hardball, not soft, like football, no. You know what I mean? I can't. I really can't. And it doesn't mean that they couldn't know about football being some sort of coach or, like that. Same, I know women play hockey too on that level, but basketball is apples to apples. It really is the game. Is for the most part, and more fundamentally sound, would you say, women, where men are more athletic and above the rim and all that kind of stuff and whatnot. So I'm not positive I agree with her that it's not going to happen in her lifetime. I mean, I didn't think that we'd see a black president in the United States. I got to be honest. I'm
Don't do that, because I got jokes.
No, but I didn't. I really didn't.
You might not ever again.
But I didn't. I don't. You might be right,
Yeah,
but my point is, if there is a sport, and she might be right that they're not ready to do it now. You know what I mean? But to say never, I just think basketball, women's basketball, men's basketball, men coach women's basketball left and right.
100%.
Right? You don't have to be a female to coach women's basketball, and I get it. It's a male-dominated business and sports and whatnot. But there was something missing because Becky Hammond was on that track to be a head coach in the NBA. She was. Pop picked her, made her put her on the bench with the Spurs. She interviewed with a couple teams, and for whatever reason, nobody pulled the trigger on her. I don't know if it was something about her. You know what I mean? Once she got in there, there are people like that who should be coaches. Who's the guy for the Lakers forever? He finally got Rob G. Finally got a head coach in Byron
Scott?
No, who's the other guy? He was on.
What era?
He was with Phil Jackson, and he just could not. Oh my God, I cannot.
Brian Shaw. Yeah.
Remember that
Brian
for
Shaw.
a long time.
So great, yes. Everybody
Brian
kept saying, why
Shaw.
is Brian Shaw getting this?
He finally get a head coaching job?
You know who that is now? Sam Cassell.
Okay, Sam Cassell. There's another guy. He's been paid his dues.
Everybody's like
Sam.
Yeah.
And whatever reason, he's interviewed for some jobs. They don't pull a trigger on Sam Cassell, and they didn't pull a trigger on Becky Hammond, even though she was set up for it. Like the best coach at the time in the NBA is like all in on her, the endorsements, giving her a job that no other woman had on an NBA team, responsibility. When he was out, she coached. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything. And it didn't happen in San Antonio, and it didn't happen anywhere else. But I think that of all the sports, it could happen in basketball because the games are so close. Are they ready right now? No. But Dawn said not in her lifetime. I disagree with that.
I strongly disagree with in my lifetime. I absolutely believe it's going to happen. I believe it might happen in the next decade. Couple of reasons why. Now, I do think current political climate may need to change. That's all I'm going to say about that. But there's a couple of reasons why the NBA. Number one, the NBA is the most progressive of all the leagues, right? They usually try to be forward-thinking. They try to be ahead of the curve in certain things, socially, politically, and all those kind of things. They try to do that. They've already integrated. It's almost like weird now if you're an NBA team and you don't have a woman on your bench, some type of coach, whether assistant, whether film coach, something. You're some type of assistant coach. The Lakers here in LA have one as well, maybe even more. But so it's not far-fetched. And I think inherently, you mentioned it, because it's skill to skill, like hoop is hoop is hoop. You grow up playing ball. Dude, if you go to a local 24-hour fitness, LA Times right now, there's going to be a couple of ladies out there playing.
No doubt about it.
And you don't think twice. Like, yo, she can hoop. Let's go hoop.
She can shoot. She can
play.
She can
hoop. And it's just natural. I grew up. You're plenty of
like
girls.
When I played Nancy Lieberman in that game.
Exactly. And you know what? Nancy Lieberman is coaching in the Big Three. You led me to where I was going to go. Nancy Lieberman is coaching in the Big Three, which is very volatile and hostile and tough and aggressive, and because that's how they promote the league. And she's doing her thing there. You couldn't tell me that Dawn Staley, Cheryl Miller, Doris Burke, God bless the dead, Pat Summerall. There's a whole
Pat Summit.
Pat Summit. There's a whole list of folks that if I was in college or NBA, that was my coach, I'd be wouldn't even think twice. Like, what's up, Coach Becky Hammond? Because they know the game. Diana Taurasi, if she all of a sudden became a coach, if Sue Bird became a coach, you'd be like, all right, whatever. And it might be a little weird just because you grew up with men and there's certain little things like you naturally think you got an arm around a coach, you walk in the locker room, maybe they're, I don't know the rules and maybe a little different. I get that. That's just human nature. But ultimately, I think you get over it. And I think the NBA is very progressive in that regard. I fully expect within the next 10 years or so for someone to do that. I think someone's going to want to show how bold they are, want to lead the pack, want to give someone a chance. And you're right that we all kind of thought Becky Hammond was on that track. So it was shocking to see that she hasn't, but she's still coaching very well in the WNBA, so very well could end up being getting that opportunity because she's doing her thing in the WNBA, winning championships as well. So football, there's a physicality, there's a machismo, there's a man thing, I think, that won't allow it to happen, right? Because there's a few high school players around the country that have women athletes, young girls, young women.
Yeah.
But it's not like a thing. There's more flag football. Softball, yeah, you play, but it ain't baseball. You can hear it. And baseball is a different sport, different mindset, different era. It's been around for so long. I just think they'll be slow to adapt that. Basketball is just not crazy at all. And again, Nancy Lieberman, it's a really big thing that she's doing the Big Three because to me, I know the Big Three is in the NBA, but you need somebody to start slowly doing it. Then you need a smaller school, not maybe like a smaller D1. Like I went to Eastern Michigan, right? You need a smaller D1 in Eastern Michigan to have a coach. And then you start inching your way up. But I don't think it's far-fetched. I think and Dawn Staley, by the way, while she's talking about it might not be in my lifetime, Dawn Staley, you might get tapped on the shoulder again.
Maybe the next coach at Wisconsin Green Bay could be a woman.
It's very possible. What
I
are you
said
saying?
The next coach.
It could be like 5 years, 10 years?
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
talking
think it'll be
about.
more like that?
Something like that.
Yeah. Dawn Staley, very well, while she's saying that, might get tapped on the shoulder again. Another team might say, no, we want to bring you in for another round of interviews and think about considering you.
No doubt. I'm not as pessimistic as she is. I get it.
She said it not in her lifetime. I don't think
in her
that
lifetime. I thought that was like, wow.
I just think that's just where we're going. And again, like I keep repeating the same point. The NBA is just basketball is just different, and
it just fits. It just does.
Dawn Staley believes that a female coach in the NBA is not going to happen in her lifetime, which I see what you're doing, Miss Mary Mack. I see it, head coach in even this lifetime.
I didn't try that, but
we actually disagree. Both of us. We actually agree on something. I think it's going to happen as you can. The NBA is the league to have that happen.
And the games line up to make sense. All right. Andre in Massachusetts, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Dre?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for taking the call. Listen,
wait a minute. Are you in the car driving?
I'm in the car. Yeah, I'm moving, man. I just come from my men's league game, Rob.
That's unbelievable. We've never
You're at
heard you in
home.
the
It's a
car.
dog
I know.
with you. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
How many you put up? What you drop on him tonight?
No, he's a ref.
Oh, that's right. He is a ref.
My game is Eric Snow, so I didn't have as many points. My player efficiency was high,
Okay.
and we won by double digits. You know what I mean?
He said
I'm
Eric
the blue guy.
Snow.
Oh, so
That's funny.
it sounded like you got no points. So
0 points, 4 assists, 3 fouls.
It was Eric Yellow Snow is how the performance was. I'm just saying.
Come on now, Rob. I'm 2001, Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah. So we want to know who the Allen
Okay,
Iverson is
all
on the
right,
team.
all
That's
right,
what we
all
want to
right,
know.
Dre, what you got on this? What you got?
And speaking of Dawn Staley, she's from the city of brotherly love. She should be, first of all, a little bit more optimistic. There will be a woman's head coach in the NBA in 5 years, 10 years max. Book it. There's no two ways about it.
I agree.
I said a decade.
The
Yep.
league, under the leadership of Adam Silver, taking the baton from the late, great David Stern, believes in empowering women. And it goes all the way back to the formation of the WNBA, which was a passion project of David Stern. And Adam Silver is lockstep behind him. You look at how many women's officials that we have, and they do an outstanding job. The league believes in it. It's the right thing to do. It makes dollars. It makes sense. So in the next 5 years, I say, but at the longest, in the next decade, you will see a women's head coach, and Dawn Staley would be a great candidate for the job. Thanks for taking the call.
All right,
No
bro.
doubt.
Be
Appreciate
safe.
you, Dre.
Robert in Georgia, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Robert?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all know?
Doing well,
good.
brother.
What's up with the voice? What's going on? You all right?
No, I'm right. I just had to clear my throat. I'm good.
Let clear my throat.
Sorry.
I just had a quick question right before I asked. I know I watched the game last night. I'm still confused. And I know y'all would know some clarification. So it was the bases loaded, 2 outs. When he caught the ball, it popped out. Did it hit the fence and then catch it? How was he?
Yes.
Yes.
Out?
Fence, hand.
Right, hand, fence. Then he caught it again because originally I said to Kelvin, I thought he caught it was hand, and he just caught the ball, but it actually hit the fence. That made a ball live in play, Robert.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's why
why it was a
And
forced
that's
play.
Teoscar Hernandez said he blanked up because he waited and he should have ran. He talked about it, but it was confused. I can obviously imagine for him it was confusing trying to see.
But
what
the
happened.
one guy who wasn't confused with the catcher.
He was
the
on
whole way. He knew it was a force. He didn't try to tag the runner, Hernandez, and he went right to third base. He didn't even play around.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just confused. But I don't think to go to the topic, I don't think it's going to be. I'm 34. I don't think it's going to be one in my lifetime. I just
Really.
Yeah, if
even though Becky Hammond seemed like she was close.
That's what I said. That's why I think, because I feel like if it was her, if it was anybody to get it, other than Becky Hammond, she was lined up for the position with Pop and Havner, and she didn't get it. So I just don't see nobody else. She had to go to WNBA to do it, so I don't see nobody else in my lifetime. I'm 34. Maybe when I'm 30, 40 years down the line, but not in the next 10 years. I doubt it.
I just feel like the league is aligned with
Thanks,
stars.
Robert.
Like the star players love the Candace Parkers of the world. Candace Parker could be a coach in the next 5 to 8 years. Like, that's not crazy to me if all of a sudden breaking news, and we have the Charlotte Hornets, Candace Parker is the new head coach. That's not crazy to me.
Tim, Chili Tim in Atlanta, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Tim?
What up, Rob? How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. What up, Kelvin?
What up, Tim?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised at you guys. I hear all the WNBA jokes, but I do think that it's possible. But I think they're gonna have to come from the level of like a D1, maybe like a mid-major. I don't know if you ever get one in the Big Ten, SEC, or something like that. But I think, like, if you get someone, a female coach that coaches a mid-level team, has success, maybe gets the NCAA playoff or something like that, I'd like to see one make it to, start coaching college basketball on the mid-level, and then maybe they work their way up. And I think then you have a strong moral possibility, because then there's an example of them having worked with young men and dealing with it, and I think that may go a long way in trying to propel them. And if that can happen within the next 10
So you
years
expect
or
to
so.
see a woman coach get hired in the
Yeah,
NBA, don't you?
yeah,
like,
I do.
Like
I
Dawn
do,
Staley's
yeah.
saying that she doesn't expect.
Only thing
But I can respect where she's coming from, because think about it, us as black men, we thought in our lifetime, like, you know, you said you never thought yourself. When you're in it and you're on the other side of that minority, it's hard to see hope.
That's fair.
Well, yeah,
that's fair.
That's
That's fair.
Have a good night, guys.
All right,
I
Tim,
appreciate
it.
Well, that's with the president.
Yeah,
And-
that's fair. I mean, when you're in it and you've been, you know, for her maybe throughout life beating down, woman, you can't do this, you can't do this because you're a woman, you can't do that because you're a woman, can't do this. It probably maybe it weighs heavier than what we're saying. And that's a fair point.
I'm going to take you this real quick, this moment in my life. And my mom, she passed away before Barack Obama was elected. But she wasn't, you know, doing well or whatever. But I remember being with her. And she said to me, you know, like, here's a woman, you know what I mean, born in Alabama, all the stuff that she went through, you know what I mean, growing up. And she was like, do you think he's going to make it? You know what I mean? Like, do you really? And I said, all the indications seem like it, you know, it's like that moment, you know what I mean? And even though she didn't survive long enough to see him, I think she went with the idea that it was going to happen. Like, because she really was like, really?
Like, for real? For America?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
America.
Like right. And I still remember that moment and that conversation.
That's real.
Where,
yeah,
where it was
dude.
like,
I remember that night he won. Our godson was maybe probably 2 years old, 3 years old, give or take, and we made his parents
wake
him up,
yes,
and bring him out. He was
absolutely.
maybe he was 3-ish, something like that. So he could just be like, you were there at this moment. You know,
you might not remember it all,
but
you
were there.
You
were up. You saw it. You know, it was a big moment for America, for African Americans, for America as a whole. It was a big moment. So, it would be, you know, for Dawn Staley and a lot of women, it would be a big moment.
A lot of women, it would be,
because you mentioned there's a bunch of men coaching high school girls, middle school girls, college girls, pro girls, and excuse me, as a father of three girls,
right?
To be like, no, anything's possible. Shout out to KG. All right, Rob, so they're watching us right now, which means another thing they can do is what?
They can subscribe. All you got to do is hit that button, subscribe to The Odd Couple for some of the best sports talk content in the nation.
Facts, and while you're at it, they can like, they can comment, they can share. Do all that for us. We appreciate it. Just do all that right up in here.